If you've ever found yourself wondering, what is bookkeeping? Well, in this video, I'm going to kind of break it down because there's accountants and there's accounting, but what exactly defines accounting? Really, it's kind of hard to define accounting because it all encompasses accounting. But there's several different things inside of accounting that is different. So, like a CPA, whenever you think of bookkeeping, you probably think of CPA, at least a lot of people do. And it's not exactly that. So a CPA, you have to go to college, you have to get a degree, and you also have to pass a lot of tests, really hard tests. So it takes a really long time to become a CPA. And it's really tough to become a CPA. A lot of people shy away from it because of how tough it is. And as a CPA, once you've become a CPA, you're able to, do people's tax returns and do them pretty accurately and correctly because you know GAAP, which is, I can't remember the actual definition of it, or the breakout of it, but it's an acronym. And it's just pretty much the rules that you have to follow as a CPA or an accountant to have your books in line. Pretty much tells you that you have to do things correctly. But here's the thing. The tax laws sometimes differ from GAAP, so CPAs, they follow GAAP true and true because that is the true way to do it. You have to do accrual accounting, you have to, record things a certain way, and there's no variation to it. But there's another aspect to accounting and stuff, and it's called EA, enrolled agent. This, you don't have to have a degree. You do have to pass tests, and you will have to be licensed to become an enrolled agent, but it's considered the highest placement for in the IRS. Um, that's because EAs study tax laws. They don't really they can do taxes, and they can pretty much do what a CPA does, but they don't have the knowledge that a CPA does when it comes to GAAP. Their focus is more on the tax side of things, and tax differs from GAAP a little bit. For example, one way they differ is that whenever you're buying an asset, GAAP rules say you have to depreciate over time. Well, in 2025, you can take that depreciation and take it all up front, 100% the year that you buy it, through cost segregations and stuff like that, if it's real estate. But even like buying like vehicles and stuff, you can do the same thing. But that's in the GAAP, that's not really how you handle it. That's not how it's said to be handled. But in tax law, it's said that you can do that. So EAs, they're studying more how you can take advantage of certain laws and in taxes and stuff in order to save money on taxes. This is great for high net worth individuals because they can, take what they have and put money in places where it'll help them get a little tax breaks, like life insurance, oil companies, real estate's the biggest one, just stuff like that. Understanding that they're talking to their client and they're saying, hey, if you put your money here, you'll save on taxes. Or if you invest here, you'll save on taxes. So an enrolled agent is more in that direction. Now, getting down to bookkeeping, you don't need a degree, you don't need a license, you don't need anything really. All you need to do is have a basic knowledge of debits and credits and how to categorize things and stuff like that. And once you've got that knowledge, you can pretty much do your own bookkeeping, or a bookkeeper can become a bookkeeper and start offering their services. It's because it's really not that difficult to understand bookkeeping, and a lot of CPAs, a lot of them don't offer it because it is monotonous and it's really time consuming. Enrolled agents, a lot of them don't offer it. So CPA is going to offer to do your taxes most likely, most of the time. Some of them do offer bookkeeping, but a lot of them don't. Enrolled agents, they're going to offer most of the time tax strategy. They're going to, just tell you how to put money where before tax season comes. CPA are for tax season. Well, bookkeepers, they're kind of all year round. You need to know where your money is going every month, or every week, however you want to do it. But it's much better to have it every month rather than every quarter, or even worse, every year. Because if you're running blind for 12 months out of the month, or 12 months out of the year, you're not going to know exactly where your money's going. And that's a problem. You need to know where your money's going. If you're making money, if you're losing money, if this product is a horrible product, stop buying it. If this product is making you a ton of money, buy more of it if you can sell more of it in the month or however long you want to look at it. So bookkeeping is more of the day to day, taking the numbers that swipe your card or, take money out of the ATM. We're taking those transactions and we're putting them in buckets. Like, all right, every ATM withdrawal is for tools. They're buying tools off Facebook Marketplace every time they pull money out. Or every time they swipe this credit card, it's cost of goods sold. They're buying more material to produce something that they need to sell. That is what bookkeeping is. We're categorizing things. That way you can look back at the month and say, oh, wow, we spent, I don't know, $10,000 on materials this month and we made $20,000. So we have a $10,000 difference. But all of our expenses chipped away at that $10,000 difference, and now we're only left with $5,000 of profit after $10,000 of goods sold, cost of goods sold, $5,000 of expenses. That's what's left over. And that's going to be able to tell you like how much you can pay yourself, how much, you're growing, if you're growing or if you're not even. That's what bookkeeping does. It really does make things simpler for you to see things throughout the year. And then on top of that, your CPA is going to love you because whenever it comes tax time, they can just take the numbers that your bookkeeper kept for you or your bookkeeping kept for them, and you can just plug it right in. Or they can just plug it right in. It's super simple, and CPAs love it whenever you have a bookkeeper. EAs as well. If you're wanting to do some tax strategy, then the EAs are going to need to know, the enrolled agents are going to need to know, how much money you have to work with. Are you hemorrhaging money? Are you making money? Can you even do any type of tax strategy where you put money in places, or are you just needing to increase your income, period? That's going to be what bookkeeping will tell you. Um, if you're a business owner and your bookkeeping feels unclear, or you can't even recognize what numbers there are, you might need a bookkeeper. And if you need help with this, let me know. My name is Garrett. I run jonesbookkeeping.pro, and I offer my services, and we are taking on clients right now. So click the link in the description and book a free call, and we can talk.